So Sony for the past few years have been announcing some of their games way in advance, which created some amazing E3 presentations, like back in 2015, 2016. But I felt with 2017 there wasn't a whole lot of surprises left. You know, there was Spider-Man, you know, but that would have been already been announced the year before, and we finally got to see some gameplay on that. But they were just showing off games that had already had gameplay for them. You know, I mean, yes, they've also just been constantly teasing other games like Death Stranding, Last of Us 2, I believe was, you know, teased last year. I'm not saying this E3 is going to be bad or anything, far from it. I just think it's not going to have that wow factor, that surprise. I mean, I would love to be wrong in this regard. I'd like to be pleasantly surprised, but like I said, I'm being rather realistic with this E3. That's kind of why I picked Sony to talk about first, because I think they're going to be the most predictable out of the lot. So how are they going to kick off the event? Well, I personally feel Sony are going to save Last of Us 2 or Death Stranding to the end of the event. I mean, neither of these have had any gameplay. From what I'm aware, I don't believe they've had any gameplay shown off yet. So hopefully during some point during the event we'll get to see that. I'm more interested in seeing gameplay of Death Stranding, as we haven't. I mean, Last of Us 2 is probably going to be a more HD version of the first one, with obviously the characters aged a bit from what you can see in the teaser. I believe that was like an older Ellie, but I digress. I feel Sony will probably pick something safe, probably be Spider-Man or maybe Days Gone, but I'm leaning towards more Spider-Man, as that's got a September 7th release. Yeah, and then I believe later on in the event we'll probably see some more juicier gameplay. Spider-Man will probably take 5 to 10 minutes, and then they'll probably show off the release date. It reminds you a lot, because we've only seen one gameplay trailer. They might have shown off more, but last year they showed off a gameplay trailer, and I'm feeling they're going to show off a new feature inside of it. A lot of people comparing it to some of the Arkham games, so I feel like they might have been taking inspiration from that. But either way, we've yet to see more. I'm open to see more of it. It probably will be good. But I feel that will probably be it for 2018. I feel like they're going to rely on third party for the rest of their lineup, and the rest of them are going to be 2019. Obviously, some of their side stuff like the indie games and maybe not the true AAA games will obviously come out as well. I mean, they'll probably do a slideshow for it. But I'm just stating like games like Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, you know, those Days Gone. You know, I believe they're going to all come out in 2019. Yeah. But third party will get a lot of focus during this event, as well. I mean, I think Square has got a direct. I keep saying direct because I know what Nintendo do, but they've got an event beforehand. So I feel like Square might have less impact than they did in some of the years prior. Obviously, they will probably Square's really tight with Sony, so they'll probably, you know, have something there at least. But I don't think it'll be as in depth as what they'll have at their event. I'm hopefully we'll see some more Final Fantasy VII remake this year, because we didn't get to see it. They announced it in 2015 and then nothing for 2016 and 17. I mean, sure, that game has hardly been in development when they first announced it. Other than that, Black Ops 4 will probably get a huge focus. I'm imagining that too, because ever since 2015 they went over to Sony because Microsoft didn't want to keep supporting them. So they got the exclusivity deal, and ever since then they've been showing off at Sony. I feel like they're also going to show off that Battle Royale mode. I think it was called Blackout, from what we can hear about some of the leaks. I think it was a leak, or something that was announced. They'll show off some of the details about that. But yeah, this E3 is going to be rather predictable. I'm hoping there's a few surprises. Like, I'm also curious about Ghost of Tsushima. I'm hoping they show off some gameplay during this event, because the concept seems really cool, how it's like you play as a samurai and it's going to be inspired by 13th century Japan. But if there's not good gameplay, I'm going to lose interest. I feel like this E3 is going to be an E3 where they show off a bunch of gameplay for the games they've been teasing. Other than that, they could have some their VR helmet. VR helmet. When has anyone ever called it a helmet? But their VR headset. They might show off some of that. I'm not really interested in their VR though. I don't think I can say any more about Sony's E3. They have some great games to show off. They might have one or two new IPs, but overall I feel like it's going to be kind of predictable like 2017 was. I don't think it'll be as bad as 2017 though. I think it's going to be a lot better than from 2017 because they're going to show off some good gameplay. If I've missed any games or topics, you know, feel free to point that out in the chat or the description, not description, but the comments. You know, I'm willing to talk in there about this. But tomorrow, or the next video I do will probably be discussing Nintendo, and they'll be the most fun to talk about. And then I'm also going to be interested in how I'm going to handle Xbox, because they haven't got too much announced. But Sony, I think Sony is going to be a really solid E3. And then maybe next year or the year after, they'll have one of those hype E3s. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and then, yeah, like I said, comments if you want to point out anything to me.